Hello, Michael here. Looking at Proverbs 3, specifically verse 25 through to 29 for the exposition. We're going to go ahead and read the first 29 verses then of this Proverbs. Let's start. Verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the firstfruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is every one that retaineth her. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall there be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Verse 25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. 26. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. 27. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in thy power of thy hand to do it. 28. Say not unto thy neighbor, Go, and come again, and tomorrow I will give thee, when thou hast it by thee. And 29. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. And so we look for the exposition, verse 25 and 26. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Sudden fears are attended with a stupefying influence upon those that want faith. But far different is the fact with regard to the righteous. The righteous man is bold as a lion, for he knows, like the 3 children in Babylon, that the God whom he serves is able to deliver him or to render him happy, though the desolation of others should involve the destruction not only of all his outward comforts, but of his mortal life. The Lord is a sure ground of confidence in the worst of times. Our proper exercise in such seasons is to trust in the Lord and to pour out our hearts before him, knowing that he will be a refuge for us. This comfortable doctrine is illustrated and enforced in almost every psalm. May not one, then, exclaim with royal philosophy, Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. The way in which wisdom leads us is attended with every blessing, and free from every evil. Or if there be any evil in it, so wonderful is the providence of God, that it is turned into good. Thus is Samson's riddle verified to every afflicted saint. May our lives be those of the righteous, and our last ends there. The wise man next directs us to make no unnecessary delay in the performance of any good work. Verse 27. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. To do justly is one great point of religion, and we ought not unnecessarily to delay giving every man his due, for the delay of justice is temporary injustice. When we owe money to our neighbors, which they require from us at present, and we, though able, defer payments till afterwards, we are plainly guilty of injustice. For a man has the same right to his property now that he will have a year hence. We find men reproved and threatened for keeping in their own hands the hire of the laborer. The same censure may be applied to those who refuse to pay just debts, or to restore to its rightful owner any piece of lost property which they have found. For we are not to do what we will with that which is not ours, nor are we to owe to another anything but love. We owe love and the proper fruits of it to our fellow creatures, according to their necessities and characters, and our connection with them. And we transgress the rule of righteousness if we withhold even from our enemies that which is due to them by the law of Christ. For many things are to be reckoned just debts from us on his account, which they have no title to claim for their own sakes. It may be difficult for us to render to others what is due to them by the laws of justice or charity. But the question is not whether it is easy, but whether it is in the power of thy hands to render unto others that good which is due to them. The fruits of love are often labors, but they are not such labors of love as those which our Redeemer cheerfully performed for us, nor is any man a loser by them. What is the power of our hands today may not be in our power tomorrow, and therefore we ought not to delay the performance of any good work. Verse 28. Say not unto thy neighbor, Go, and come again tomorrow, I will give thee, when thou hast it by thee. Delays in any part of duty furnish a strong presumption that we do not perform it cheerfully. We are commanded not only to do good works, but to be ready to every good work, not only to show mercy, but to show it with cheerfulness. He that gives speedily gives twice, but he that gives with slow reluctance gives in part a denial. Much of the benefit is often lost to the receiver, and much of the gratitude to the giver by telling our neighbors to go and come again. There is a manner of giving that but ill accords with that humanity and mercy which should dispose us to give. Airs of superiority, assumed even to the meanest of our fellow creatures, are unbecoming. For however inferior to us in point of station, they are still our neighbors, and God commands us to love them as ourselves. God often delays answering our prayers, but he is infinitely and essentially superior to us. Yet his delays are all in wisdom and love. When it is fit that his petitioners should receive what they ask, he gives before they ask, or whilst they are yet speaking he hears. In one case, the wise man allows us to defer giving, when we have it not by us, and when we cannot give at all, in a consistency with more urgent duties, we may refuse to give. But still, we must have hearts to give, were it in our power. And if there be first a willing mind, it is accepted according to what a man hath, and not according to what he hath not. The next direction is against doing evil to our neighbors. Verse 29. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Our fellow men are our neighbors, and we are destitute of the love of God if we feel no love to them. If the practice be an index of what passes within, we must conclude that man to be wholly destitute of love, who can willfully hurt those whom he is required to love as himself. Such a man cannot surely pretend to religion, or if he does, he is at best like a tinkling brass or a sounding cymbal, for his professions are emptiness and hypocrisy. In the day of judgment they shall be doomed to hell, who did not serve his neighbor in love. Where then must those appear whose practice was quite the reverse? All injurious persons are wicked, and the more contrivance there is in any evil that we do, it has so much the greater malignity in it. It is criminal to devise evil against any person, but it is double iniquity to hurt those that dwell securely by us. For this, in effect, is a breach of trust, and an indication of a heart based and depraved beyond the common pitch of human wickedness. The meek and the quiet of the land are the persons who dread no injury from us, as they plot none against others. And the Lord Jesus, to whom all judgment is committed, is the Redeemer of all such persons. He hath pronounced a blessing on them, and will avenge them of their enemies. For with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. We must not even contend with our neighbors by hard words, when they have done nothing to provoke us. Otherwise we are volunteers in the devil's service, sinning without putting him to the trouble of tempting us. Indeed, just you enjoyed the meditation, the exposition on Proverbs 3, verse 25 to 29. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.